Okay. 7:30. July 20th. July 20th. So it's a Garden Row update. So since the neighbor lady brought over that cannabis laced with meth, I've had to deal with that shit. I've reported it to property management. I also made a police report. Well, as I pretty much imagined, there's going to be consequences for that shit, right? For telling. Now the neighbors are pissed. And they're going to break my neck. They say, they're going to kill me. They're going to this or that. A lot of different threats. Look. I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to back down. No way. Not a chance. I think it's amazing that people can get away with what they can get away with and shit, Especially here at this place, it's absolute bullshit, and like every step of the way with property management. I mean, it's amazing what they get away with. They write people up for shit that's not true. They take other people's words, and then somebody might say, one of their employees or one of their contractors will say, well, he did this or that. And they'll just take their word for it and write you up, and then you're guilty, and you get this notice of termination. And these people they do fucked up shit, and they're wrong. And if you tell them they're wrong, they write you up for escalating the problem, for speaking, As far as I'm concerned, I'm an American, and I can speak if I want to speak. As long as I'm not calling people out of the name or making threats, I can say whatever I want to say. If I have something to say, I can say it. Well, here they want to tell you, no, you don't have that right. It's amazing. You can't say, hey, you can't do that. They'll write you up for it. What kind of bullshit is that, man? It's one thing after the next. The maintenance guy lies on paper. I get wrote up for it. He gets caught lying. They take the piece of paper back. They don't want me to have it all of a sudden, And it's been one thing after the next. They just got a new one. Just got a new one. And it's over the landscaper bullshit. And it's just a total fucking lies in here, man. It's bullshit, dude. I don't mind being held accountable for my mistakes. The shit that I do, whatever, but if you're gonna fucking do it right. Write it down right. Get the fucking story straight, dude. You guys are just pulling shit. So I think it's just amazing that I've wound up on this, in this situation, this kind of bullshit. The situation was waiting for me when I got here. That's for sure. And we can talk all day about how I've got rights and this and that and the other, but I'm finding out real quick, it don't fucking matter, man. You can squawk all fucking day long. If you're disabled, if you're poor, you ain't got no money, you ain't got no family, you ain't got no support, you ain't got shit. Okay? Nobody gives a fucking damn about your rights. Nobody cares about your feelings. Nobody cares about your sobriety, your safety, your life. Nobody gives a fuck. Everybody just wants what's easy or whatever, and they'll protect themselves and they'll do whatever. I'm just stuck in a fucked up situation, dude. Living around fucking just a fucked up situation. I haven't broken the law. I haven't violated anybody's rights. I fucking deserve this shit. And this is like what they do. This is what they're good at. They do it to just fuck with you. And here's the deal. They don't want somebody around. They've made it pretty clear. They tell me to go back where I come from. They don't like the housing voucher shit and this and that, They can do all these things and they're just distracting you and they're destroying your peace and they're making you angry and making you fight for it and this and that and the other. And the neighbors are all in on it, I swear, dude. And it's all one thing or another, but I can tell you this, when it gets down to poisoning me with meth, it's very serious business. I don't appreciate that at all. That's life and death shit right there. The night before, she's plugging me for me. She's baiting me. She wants to know. The night before she gave me this weed, she wants to know how much clean time I have. And I told her. And she goes, well, aren't you just an inspiration to us all? She turns it back to me. And then either before or after that, it was during the same conversation, she baited me in for, like my religious beliefs. And I told her about Jesus. She goes, well, I don't believe what you believe. Turned her back to me. The next morning, she shows up here. I smoke pot, and she shows up here with a bag of weed for me. And I looked it over, and there was no residue on that bag. There was nothing in the corners. There was no shards. And then, they diluted that shit with water and soaked it into the weed. You know what I'm saying? They mixed the meth in with the water, soaked it into the weed and dried it and gave it to me. I took one hit of that shit, and I knew. The first bowl I smoked didn't have any on it. It's just weed. The second bowl I smoked a couple hours later, I hit it one time, I loaded it in this. I hit it one time, and I tasted it, blew it out. I went through the fucking shit, dude. One little hit. And there, meth is, I know it well. I used to do a lot of it. And I worked really hard to get clean. And to keep this clean time, I work every day at it. And I'm not in a situation where I jones for it. I don't long for meth. I don't fantasize about meth. I'm fucking over it, dude. I hate it. I despise it. It does not belong in my house. This one or this one. And I made a deal with Jesus that moving in here, that I would keep every room in this house clean. In here and in here. And I'm doing my part. And that was bullshit. That trespass, that did not have permission to put meth in my body. Like, she did that on purpose. And I'm not going to lay down and just let it fucking happen. And I don't think property management's going to protect me. I don't think they care. Nobody gives a shit but me. I'm the only one. It's like, nobody else gives a fuck. And I guess I'll just have to be enough. But, yeah, that was a direct attack on my well-being, on my life. As far as I'm concerned, that's my everything. My freedom, my life, my home. All I have is just my 2 cats. And my garden. That's all I want to do, dude. I just wanted to come here, live, follow the rules, and not be fucked with. You know, I take care of 2 cats, and I do this. I don't even know if it'll let me switch. I can't switch. Anyway, that's my update. I guess I'm done.